Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, that's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings. Big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the par, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the theme song. Do it for Deuce and Mo.
We are live! Happy Monday nights. Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan, live from the NBC Sports Studios in San Francisco after a Kings loss. How we doing?
What up, Deuce? Hey, Morgan.
Oh, boy.
I'm rooting for you.
Yeah. But how about those 215 Kings?
Let's go, Kings.
Appreciate you basketball sickos joining us. And by the way, I love doing the show from the studio, the Deuce and Mo studio. But on late games, like if it's tipped off after 6, it just makes more sense for us to do the podcast from San Francisco right after, because then we have to drive back to Sacramento.
It would just be so late to
go
live.
We'd be starting at like 11:15, 11:20, and it's like it's tough. So this is why we do it this way. It's not my favorite.
The night owls would be happy.
They would be happy, and the basketball sickos show up no matter what.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what they're calling this podcast tonight, huh?
What are they calling this podcast?
Beauty and the Beast. Look at I'm all dressed up nice, and you're just in sweatshirts.
But you're always
crew neck.
And by the way, this is one of our crew necks. You sick son of a bitch. Also, like,
I just want to say Beauty and the Beast. I just want to be a dude.
What a stupid. You're.
Give me a hell yeah.
What a day! It's been a day.
Oh my God. Okay, before we talk about like tonight's game and what went wrong for Sacramento, and by the way, some good things tonight too.
Yeah.
It's not all bad.
No.
If you knew what Morgan put me through today and the entire NBC Sports California staff, and hey, give her credit. She wants to be innovative. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, I thought we were doing production for like the Grammys, maybe New Year's Rockin' Eve in New York City. The amount of like work we did for a 24-minute pregame of Kings Nuggets on a Monday night. There are people here limping out. There's a few people I think who put in their 2 weeks notice. They're leaving the business.
So if you didn't know, I am a very passionate human being.
A passionate dictator. Absolutely, dude. We love it. We love it.
No. And I've always just gone with whatever anything is. But I am creative and I want to push the envelope and I want to do different things.
I would love to know if anybody who was watching NBC Sports California, the pregame coverage, noticed any of the changes.
Let me know.
And they're good. It's a little more walking. We're using the full studio, you know.
Thank you. No, and our producer here, Nick, he's just always down and amazing. And I just like our team here, everyone's just down with it. Now, I think once they were down and then it took hours of work, trying new things, doing everything, they were kind of like, wow, I hate this bitch. But
at one point, Moore's like, if we get a drone in the studio, the Goodyear blimp flying over, and you're like, well, why? You can't even see. It was outrageous.
We have the best team, not on the court, but off the court.
Yeah. We do appreciate all you guys being here, though.
Thanks, guys.
After this Kings loss to Denver, 130-124, trying to make sense of all this. In the chat, we appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't done it yet, hit the thumbs up and subscribe as I move awkwardly toward the laptops to read the chat. What's up, Jesse James? Living proof. Albert's in the building. Shout out. What's up, Lowlocks? Or is it LA Locks? What am I doing? I'm tired. Morgan put me through shit. Stanley, what's up, dude? Any account says good pregame.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Someone else said, I died on the post-game show when Deuce mentioned doing his front squats and Mo yelled, no one cares.
Dude. I don't
No,
want to talk
about
too
it.
much about
That's
it.
weird.
But
Don't.
The reality is Deuce Mason is so locked in with fitness and diet right now. Look, I had a fun off season. No, I had a fun off season. I enjoyed myself. Down 10 pounds in the last 6 weeks. Deuce is getting a little thick. They're like, oh my God, you've got a dad bod. How many kids you have? Does Carlin count?
Didn't know you could produce children.
You know what I mean? How many kids you have? So
amazing.
No fog tonight. No, Sean. Why would there be fog tonight? If you have not done yet, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. But we're going to start the podcast coming down in 3, 2, 1. We'll put music in post. Hit my music. Do some more.
They tell you what they know. Oh, all right. The podcast that you know.
Welcome into the Deuce and Mo podcast, recording this on a Monday night from San Francisco at the NBC Sports California studios. We're doing pre- and post-game tonight for Kings and Nuggets. The Kings wrapping up a 4-game roadie against the Denver Nuggets. The grumpy Nuggets, who are on the home floor and have played really well against Sacramento. Coming into tonight, 2-9 were the Kings in Denver since 2018. Well, they're now 2-10 since then because Denver bounced back in a major way after that loss to Portland. They put up 130 points on Sacramento in this one and win 130-124. The Kings now 2-5 on the season with a brutal homestand ahead. This podcast presented by our friends over at Santebo Vineyards and Winery. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. How you doing, Mo?
I'm good on this Monday night. I mean, look, we've seen the Kings lose in much worse ways.
Yeah, the Chicago game comes to mind, and you're just like, oh, that was disgusting.
Well, the Chicago game comes to mind, but then just over the years, too, like just some disgusting, disappointing. Sure. And so I love feeling after some of these losses, like, again, I would no moral victories. No, like, oh, I'm okay that they didn't win that game. No bullshit like that. But I'm just so glad I don't feel deflated, lost. Well, oh my God. No, I don't. And the reason, I think one of the biggest reasons is because we're seeing fight, we're seeing effort. No, you look in some of these categories tonight for the Kings and you go, yeah, they were doing that well. Yeah, they were doing that well. But when you're not doing everything well on the floor and your team that really doesn't have much room for mistakes because you're just not a very good team, that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most disappointing part for me tonight was the start. I mean, especially after what happened in Milwaukee the other night where you allow 47 points to the Bucks and you got to claw your way out of it. Now, you scored 36 points in the first quarter, so you're in striking distance. But tonight, like that wasn't the case. And the Kings, of course, without Malik Monk, Keegan Murray still. Zach LaVine was questionable heading into this game with like lower back soreness, right?
Yes.
I think Devin Carter was questionable, and even Schroeder was questionable. So I'm sure they came in a little banged up, but hey, they're out there playing. And I just thought, like, for Denver to come out the way they did, and it's not like a surprise. Denver, watching their game against Portland the other night in Portland, like they should have won that game, and they played like shit. And so I just felt like Jokic was going to come in and play at a different level, and they were going to play focused, and they really were from the jump of this game. And for Sacramento to allow 39 points in the first quarter and allow Denver to get comfortable from 3 and, just get Jokic going, get easy looks. That was disappointing to me in this one. Yeah,
that was my least favorite thing about this game, and I guess I would say that would be the most disappointing, deflating. What was happening on the defensive end, and the Kings outscored the Denver Nuggets by 2 points in the paint, 56-54. But it was how those points in the paint were generated by Denver. And at times it was with ease and not going downhill, not like just someone going down with pure force. That happened at times with Christian Brown, Jamal Murray, just off the handles with a nice little cross finishing at the rim. But at other times it was just them cutting through the paint when there was a zone and there'd be a wide open space and no one would be communicating with the Sacramento Kings defense. And those miscommunications happened so many different times where people were just getting those baseline cuts in the dunker spot. Ugh, those were so frustrating.
Yeah. Denver can make you look bad defensively, but Sacramento, you're right. Like the communication issues, you just can't have the lapses, especially when you're a team that's undersized. And tonight they decide to go with a starting lineup that features Russell Westbrook, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Schroeder, and Sabonis, a lineup we have seen, but they go back to what we saw in the second half of that game against Milwaukee. So there's going to be like limitations with the size, and you did see that. Like Christian Brown just has power, and he's able to power through Zach LaVine. He's just stronger. But then late in this game, when it seemed like the Kings were getting amped up, like desperation time, then I'm seeing like Zach LaVine use his chest and like play physical and not allow Brown to get by him. And I don't feel the intensity at all times with this group and the focus at all times with this group defensively. And unfortunately, the margin for error is so slim. Like,
that's it.
Hey, look, back-to-back games where the offense scores a lot of points.
Yeah.
Great. But defensively, I thought there were too many breakdowns. And, when they went to that zone, the Kings had some moments where the zone was okay, but Denver, just started attacking the gaps, which, you do in a zone defense. But Sacramento was just allowing them in the gaps, as if Sacramento's like, hey, we're playing a zone, and we actually can't move out of our spots. So if you just cut right through, you're going to get something good.
That's not in my area.
And so, Doug Christie after the game was talking about well, maybe there's some confusion when someone thought we were in man and we were in zone. I'm like, oh my God, that can't happen. And that might have happened with Nique a couple of times.
It definitely did. And I know he's trying to get back in the groove of things coming back from the hamstring injury and everything. And that's going to happen. Look, okay, great. But it happened with other guys that have been out there playing as well. And I think that's where it was just frustrating because the focus has to be every single possession. When you are this type of team and you can only rely on your defensive IQ, your ability to just be on a string and move as a team. Like when you have to rely on those simple things, you can't rely on rim protection. You can't rely on someone being this aggressive on-ball defender at all times. Like you're just not going to have 5 people that can do that with this Kings roster on the floor at the same time. You got to do everything pretty close to perfect. And I felt like with Milwaukee, that's what they didn't start the game right, but when they bounced back and they recovered, they never looked back.
And the communication was there defensively.
Yes.
And you're not going to be perfect, but it's about team defense.
Yes.
And, of course, Jokic's ability to push and transition and collapse the defense. And he's just such a high-level processor. He's one of the best players to ever play the game. We know this, but there's things about Denver. It's like you can't get caught ball watching. You have to understand that Christian Brown is going to leak out in transition. He's a one-man fast break. That's some of the stuff he does. Gordon's going to be crashing. Jamal Murray and Jokic in that pick-and-roll game. They've got a lot of threats out there, but if you're just not if you just get beat, you're just getting beat because you're not in a good defensive stance, or you're not playing with the physicality necessary, that's going to crush you. And the margin for error, we've said so many times this year, is so slim with this team.
Yep.
And I think go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm about to go off.
No,
on a
I
tangent.
think that when you know that they're capable and then they do that stuff, that's where it gets frustrating. All I was going to mention were some of the numbers for Denver. They only had 9 fast break points. Like we saw against Portland the other night, where it just felt like play after play, it was all in transition. And then obviously when you look at offensive rebounds and you go to second chance points, 17 second chance points off of 8 offensive rebounds.
And to be honest, it was only +3 advantage for Denver there. One thing I wanted to look at, though, was the first quarter. Why do you give me that look?
Well, because I understand it was, but it's even the same thing with points in the paint.
Yeah.
It's how they were, it's how deflating those offensive rebounds were in the second chance points.
So Denver ends up knocking down only 12 threes in this game, 12 of 38. 6 of those came in the first quarter. 6 of those came in the first quarter. So not a bad job the rest of the way defending the 3 from Sacramento. And, of course, Denver missed some shots. Jokic was 4 of 10 tonight. Murray 0 for 5 from 3. Peyton Watson 0 for 3 from downtown. So they had some misses. But why I'm pointing out the 3-point numbers is this is a theme from this group in Sacramento right now that's tough. They are near the bottom, and honestly, I think after tonight could be last in 3-point attempts in the NBA. They go 9 for 27 from 3. And that number picked up a lot in the second half because they only took 11 in the first half.
Yep.
I'm not one of those people that's like, hey, you got to take 53s a game. Although, ironically, last year, Doug Christie, when he was talking about the group he was coaching, he had 50 as a number, 50 attempts. And I was like, okay, relax a little bit. But last year, Sacramento was at like 36 attempts a game.
Okay.
And that was 24th in the league.
Yeah.
The year before that, they were at 39. My point being is you're not going to survive in this league if you are not taking more threes. And I think this is fixable. I can tell you how, but that number is not high enough. And Denver makes 3 more threes tonight, okay? 3 more threes, and they win by 6.
Yeah.
3 times 3 is 9, okay?
Good job.
So you
Good
take
math.
some more threes tonight, you might have a chance to win this game. You were taking what Denver's defense was giving you, and that was some good looks at times in the mid-range game, and they love that.
Let me give an example. Dennis Schroeder down the stretch, driving the ball down the lane. Zach LaVine relocates up in his vision. Dennis had him up at the top, doesn't pass to him, passes to Russ. Russ, I thought it was a good pass. Russ gets a 2. Deuce off to the side is like, holy shit, you need a 3 right now, though. Like, what are you doing? And it was at that point of the game where you needed a 3. Remember at the beginning of the season or during training camp, Keegan Murray was healthy. Doug Christie said, I want his number to be 10 threes a game, attempting at least 10 threes a game. And everyone's like, holy shit, how you gotta get 10 threes, blah, blah, blah. It's the mentality, because when you're attempting 27 as a team and only 11 in that first half in today's league, when you're not great at anything else, yes, you need to attempt more. And Deuce, people are going to ask, how do you get that number? How do you get closer to that number? And I know you have one of the answers.
Part of the issue, as someone in the chat pointed out, is very accurate. Your starting lineup, and this was a fear we had going into the season. This is pre-Westbrook, too. Your starting lineup, you don't have a lot of three-point shooting. Dennis Schroeder is not a good three-point shooter. Hasn't really been a good three-point shooter in his career. It doesn't mean he can't make them, but he's not a very good one tonight, 0 for 5. Sabonis did not take a 3 tonight. We'll talk about him later on because he looks really banged up. But Sabonis, not that he was a high-volume guy. Last year, though, he shot it efficiently, right? Keegan's out right now. That hurts. DeRozan, not known for being a good three-point shooter, took 1 attempt in this game. LaVine only had 5 attempts in this game. The guy who was red hot from 3 for Sacramento was Keon Ellis. He was 5 of 8. So the Kings hit 9 threes in this game. Keon hit 5 of them. So this goes back to a point we've been talking about a lot. You have to play some of your better three-point shooters more minutes. Keon Ellis is more than a three-point shooter, though. Keon ends up tonight playing 25 minutes, thankfully. Malik Monk was also out. Nique Clifford's also back. And he was in foul trouble. So what's that look like if Nique Clifford's not in foul trouble? Does that impact Keon?
Right.
You have to find a way to get consistent minutes for Keon Ellis. Malik Monk not playing obviously hurts with a three-point shooting too. He's been shooting it well from 3. But my point is, your best three-point shooters aren't playing enough, or they're out.
They have to be out there, and they do. And it's like you said, though. What's great is that their jobs are not just in catch and shoot situations. They know how to create for themselves. They know how to put the ball on the floor. Keon specifically knows how to play defense at a very high level. And if you want to talk about some of his flaws defensively, well, there's a lot of guys on this roster with their flaws defensively. So why is he not seeing the floor, the opportunities as much as he should? I mean, I guess I do kind of know the answer. It's you. And it was something that we talked about going into this season, even before Russell Westbrook was part of the team, was how do you make sure there's equal opportunity or different opportunities for your depth so they can also stay in rhythm, make sure that they can remain confident out there and stay in the flow of what's happening in the NBA. When you don't give them the opportunities, they're not going to see that success.
And how do you do it? You dial down the starters' minutes a little bit. I mean, I'm looking tonight. The minutes leader for the Nuggets was Jokic at, 36?
Yep.
Sacramento, Levine plays 37 with a sore back. DeRozan, 36. Sabonis, 37 with it looked like a rib issue, whatever, side issue, and a shoulder issue.
Yep.
Westbrook plays 37 minutes. Schroeder, 35. You're leaning so heavily on this starting group, and you've got some youth that can be impactful and help you out there, and you have to trust it. I mean, I at times when I saw the lineup, I know we mentioned the breakdown in the zone when a couple of times when Nique Clifford was out there with some miscommunication or whatever, but more times than not, I'm watching Nique and Keon out there playing with Russ, and I'm like, this is a fun group, and they can make things happen. What do you know? Keon starts knocking down threes, which close the gap for Sacramento.
And it's not like you're going, oh, man, but there's no size if you have that guy. So this entire roster seems like to be close in the same size category, right? So you're not really going away from big players if you go in that direction with your bench. So, yeah, it's concerning. It's frustrating. But this is where we're at. I think where I'm not deflated is because I've kind of had the expectations that it would go this way with this season and these players on this roster. And in some ways, I don't know what I would do as a coach either, though, when I have those guys and I'm going like, God, I really want these guys have been in these situations. They've been, it's so hard to go away from that and be like, but man, Keon's shooting so well, but you have Zach LaVine or you have DeMar DeRozan that can get you buckets. So it's so hard. So I understand the thought process. It's just a tough position to be in.
130-124. Kings lose in Denver tonight. Sabonis, that's the next guy I was going to talk about. Dude looked banged up tonight. I mean, early in this game. From the rib issue to the shoulder issue, ends up with 13 points, 17 rebounds, and 5 assists, dealing with Jokic, too. Jokic, what a game for him. 34-14, 14 of 22 shooting. Super aggressive looking for his shit tonight. God, he is special. He also had 4 steals.
It was 14 assists, just in case anyone thought it was like rebounds or anything else.
I actually thought it was rebounds.
Yeah, 14 assists, 7 rebounds.
The guy's outrageous. And then 4 steals. I mean, it's just, what can you say? But yeah, the Sabonis thing, hopefully it's nothing serious with the rib because you can't afford to lose him.
No.
At all. But a rib thing, like that just, you don't just get better.
No.
It takes time.
And we don't know what it is. We don't know. You know what I mean?
He's tough.
He's very tough. He wants to play through things, but yeah, it's definitely a tough situation to be in when you don't have that depth, and then you'd have to just rely on Drew Eubanks. Obviously, we'll talk about some of the rumors that were put out there today about another big, but it's when Keegan went down this season and then Scott Perry added Russell Westbrook to the lineup, light bulb went over my head like, yeah, duh, no shit. This is why you add a second point guard.
Yeah. Russell, I've liked what Westbrook's brought to this team.
100%.
No doubt about it. But that's why my mindset, similar to yours with expectations, my expectations are pretty low. I'm not being up right now because I'm like, okay.
Yep.
I want to see what this looks like in February.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to maximize the vets on this team, move off of them, and then allow, Keon can maybe get an extension on February 9th, and then maybe he's playing more. Keegan's back. You're playing some younger guys, and you're building something. You're seeing what Keegan does with more opportunity, and maybe you end up with a really good draft pick. That's kind of how I look at it long term. So I'm not getting caught up in the wins and losses right now.
Right.
I do think there is going to be a frustration if it's March and this team is like, oh, they're a fringe maybe playing team, and they're playing, you're looking at the starting lineup again, and it's like they're playing 37 minutes a night and no trades have been made. That's going to be tough for people to deal with.
100%.
Well, I think that's a fear of those because how many times have we heard, hey, just wait till the deadline. We'll see what Sacramento does. I know this is a different front office, so we'll see. I don't think Scott Perry looks at this team and goes, hey, dude, this is good to go. We're going to keep rolling with this. But you just don't know. Sacramento has never been the team that goes, hey, you know what? We're just going to tear it down.
Well, let's talk about that then with some of the rumors that were out there today with Precious Achiuwa. And the reason why I want to go into this as you start talking about, well, what are they doing? Blah, blah, blah. obviously, as we talk about the Kings' depth, even tonight, it's not trusted. Isaac Jones is someone that we saw in the starting lineup how many games ago, and then it was like he was pulled. You never saw him again. Dylan Cardwell at least is a two-way player, where it's a two-way guy, where it's like, okay, when they tested him out, they saw a few things they liked. They're like, oh shit, okay, maybe he's not ready for this pace or whatever. Like, he has the athletic ability, he has the build, but not this, and this. Same thing with Maxime Marino. Like, they obviously don't trust him either. So
yeah, he's not completely ready yet. He needs to go get some time in Stockton, get stronger.
So my whole point to this, though, is like, we talk about the trade deadline that is coming up in February, and our fear is that everything just kind of stays the same. Totally a fair criticism over the years, all the different things. I loved hearing today just even Precious Achiuwa as a rumor associated with the Sacramento Kings.
Jake Fisher reported that the Kings have interest in bringing in Precious Achiuwa. But you go, okay, where does he go?
Right.
The roster's full. They would have to make a move. And I think most people go, well, what about Doug McDermott? You could buy him out. Or Dario Saric. You could buy him out. It's about $5 million for him. McDermott's at a minimum deal. But, I mean, my guess is it's going to be Isaac Jones, who last year was on a two-way deal as a rookie, got converted to a standard deal, but he's on a non-guaranteed deal. They could cut him tomorrow, and they pay him $150,000 or something like that. And so I'm wondering if that ends up being the case. And as far as Precious Achiuwa goes, he's a guy that you play at the 4. He played small ball 5 in an emergency situation with the Knicks. He can hit a corner 3. He's super athletic, plays with good energy. He's a solid role guy. Like, I'm not trying to hype him up or anything, but if people go, oh my God, you're adding him over Isaac Jones, my perspective on this is, okay, Isaac's 25 years old. Precious is 26.
Yep.
Precious has more of a body of work. Isaac, the tough part for me on the Isaac Jones thing, if they decide to go that route, is like, we haven't seen enough this year.
I'm so with you on that.
And I saw him in the summer league, and he showed some good stuff.
Sure.
He worked on his three-point shot. I will say, watching Isaac in the brief moments he has played this year, something that stood out to me is that he just doesn't seem like the most athletic guy. He's in better shape, but
his hops and
And like, there were definitely some issues with guys maybe finishing over him or through him, but no leash whatsoever. And I feel like that's been the case with a lot of these young guys. And really, Isaac has been kind of lost in this. I mean, hell, he didn't even play last game.
And that's why my point is, fine. If you're not going to play Isaac and you put someone else on this roster that maybe there's a little bit more trust in, that you want to see, that you want to try, that's all I'm here to see right now. Like, I want to see there be more trust and opportunities for this depth or whatever's here on the bench.
I mean, I think what it comes down to too is you want to be in a situation where, especially with like Keegan out and even with Keegan's back, where you don't have to feel like I got to play Zach LaVine at the 4 in some lineups, or Russell Westbrook taking on this matchup, you know, like not that those things can't still happen or won't ever happen, but you just need a little more depth where you just don't trust that. And to be fair, Scott Perry wasn't the guy that signed Isaac Jones to a 2-way contract or a standard deal. So he may not view Isaac with the same upside. That's only my guess at this point, because ultimately it's just rumors at this point. But it's hard to imagine them trying to buy out Doug McDermott or Saric. I think Dario's deal you could use in a trade as an expiring deal.
Okay.
I will say the McDermott one, I don't understand why you signed him to a fully guaranteed deal. Especially he's not even playing.
I was going to say, you're not even using him for his shooting abilities. So, it's all those things.
Yep.
And that's why I'm just to the point of, all right, fill this roster with pieces that you want to see play and you want to see out there. For example, too, even tonight, it's like, thank goodness that there was enough trust of just going with Drew Eubanks for a little bit then. 11 minutes. He looked really good in that 2-man game, especially with Russ. They were connecting well. And when you see those moments from Eubanks, you're just like, all right, I get this. And then when he tries to do too much or something else that's like not in his role is when you kind of get frustrated. You're like, hey, just like do what you're supposed to do out there.
I think the issue with him too is just defensively. And that's just a big topic with the Kings bigs is like, I mean, you get past the the perimeter defense.
Yeah.
Do you or if a big has to switch, it's night. You're getting into the paint and something good is happening for the opposing team.
How many times did they target him the other night against Milwaukee?
I mean,
right?
like 5-6 straight plays in a row, and it was happening tonight. But I think the difference tonight, especially in that push that the bench unit made with Westbrook's ability to push hard and get into two-man action with Eubanks running the floor, he's a beneficiary of that.
Hey, someone in the chat just randomly asked, Mo, how big are your hands?
Morgan's hands are
They're like
Kawhi-esque. Hold them up.
Yeah, no, I have the biggest hands.
She has bigger hands than me.
Probably.
No, you do.
Yeah, I can palm a
We've
basketball.
done this before on the pod.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
geez.
Wow, dude, I was a
So it's either
baller.
I have tiny hands, well, maybe it's both.
Actually, why didn't I learn how to play the piano? I'd be like, no.
Yeah, you can be like me.
You do know how to play a little bit, but anyway, yeah, I got those hooper hands. You know what I'm saying? But they're big as shit. So
How could you even tell that?
well, I can always tell in like photos and stuff. Like, look at them; they're like just claws.
Well, look, you could just see like Morgan's microphone looks so much smaller than
It's
mine.
gone. These man hands. I got big feet.
So,
too. Yes.
Going back to this, so we talk about the Precious stuff, and I see what they're looking at. They need some size that they feel like they can play. It just sucks that we didn't get to see more of Isaac if he ends up being the guy that gets waived. Because I just, it's like, that's another thing with this year is part of it's like, I want to just see some of the young guys. I want to see them make mistakes because that's part of it. Like they need to go through this, you know? But we'll see how that one plays out. It was good to see Nique Clifford get some run.
I loved seeing him back out there. He played 19 minutes, 8 points for him. He did get in foul trouble, like you had already mentioned.
3 in the first half that limited his action.
3 in the first half. Finished with 5 fouls. 4 of 9 from the field. Few defensive mistakes that we already kind of mentioned. But ultimately, just get him back in the groove of things. So great to have that body back. And yeah, I hope that he is just trusted more and more with more opportunities. I want to see him play.
Yeah, I think he's got really good feel. I think one thing that I've liked about him in his brief regular season minutes here because he was out, he's strong.
Yes.
You know, he could absorb some contact.
Totally.
And he's got good length.
Just great feel. He reads the game so well.
Yeah, I think he was I don't know if it's just him coming back, but he felt like a little, chaotic a little bit out there offensively at times.
I think it was, yes, I think it was that. And I guess there was the few times I was seeing him read the game well, it would be like when the ball was moving and he cut baseline and he got that little lob up there.
And that 2-man game, Sabonis threw it to him, right?
Yeah. And so, again, when you're just coming back into the groove of things, he came back last game. And I don't even remember how many minutes he ended up playing in that one. But this one, it felt like a little bit better. And hopefully now coming back home, he's feeling good. He's feeling fresh because they need him out there. They really like he needs to shoot more threes. Yep. He attempted 2 tonight. They need him shooting the basketball. They need him doing just a little bit more. He needs to be confident out there, even when he's playing with most of that starting unit, like still get yours. Don't worry about, like, they're all vets, but I feel like most of them are very empowering vets. Like, keep moving and I'm going to find you.
I'd also like to see him play on the ball a little bit more when he gets out there, especially with the second unit. Let him set up some guys because you just talked about his playmaking, put him in some pick and roll situations. Because right now I feel like that's not really, when he's out there, it doesn't feel like that's really his role.
Yeah.
And he hasn't, as someone mentioned in the chat, hasn't really gotten his shot going. It's such a limited sample size, but I'm eager to see what that looks like as the year goes on. If you have not done it yet, do us a huge favor. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Also, you got to comment after the show. Keep the conversation going. Why am I asking you to do this? Just so more basketball sickos around the universe can check out our podcast all the time. That would be great. We're also presented today by our friends over at Sentivo Vineyards and Winery.
I don't know why I was going to repeat
with
you, but either way, Sentivo, they're amazing people. They're all Kings fans, and they make some of the best wine in California. They have a new tasting room in Suisun Valley, which is just near Fairfield area, which was actually just voted the best wine region in the U.S. The people behind the scenes there are also amazing. Go check out the tasting room or go to sentivovineyards.com for a whole bunch of bottles.
Who's their favorite basketball team?
I said it, the Sacramento Kings.
Just wanted to emphasize that a little bit. Yeah, their tasting room's awesome. Check it out. Fairfield's not that far away either. It's a great wine region, as you mentioned.
Pretty.
Cool wineries around there. Their tasting room is fabulous. Check them out today. Also presented by our friends over at
Medic Ambulance. We've teamed up with Medic Ambulance, a trusted name in emergency medical services across Northern California. Medic Ambulance has set the standard in emergency medical services for over 45 years now. Learn more at medicambulance.net.
Appreciate everyone's support of the Deuce and Mo podcast. Let's get to some comments. Jay says it's going to be a rough year on and off the floor. Why off the floor? Fans are really getting tired. Y'all got to cover the King. Y'all that cover the Kings are great, but it's not enough.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I appreciate you supporting us. Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough year. I think most people anticipate that being the case. Yeah, I mean, look, born and raised in Sacramento. We've seen a lot, and I love nothing more than a consistent winner. So my hope is that Scott Perry can do his thing, is trusted to do his thing. Let the man cook. Let him cook. And that's going to be the challenge, right? For him to stand up for what he believes in and to put forth a team that this city is behind, but don't take shortcuts either. You know what I mean? Like, even right now, the Ja Morant stuff's being floated around. A lot of people are like, hey, should the Kings trade for Ja Morant? I'm like, what does that do? And I'm not even anti-Ja.
Yeah.
He's an incredible talent.
Yeah.
We could pick apart some of the things that have happened with his game over the last couple of years.
Sure.
Of course, you could pick apart some of the off-court stuff. I'm not saying I'm like, no way, do not touch him. But I'm going, start building for the future. Start building this out. Ja Morant's 26 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So what, you're going to trade Levine for him? What's that do?
But see, here's the thing. I think a lot of people, when they just hear Ja Morant, they're like, yeah, we'll build the future. Just build the future around Ja Morant. And, I mean, let's even set aside the off-court stuff. And I know even more is going on right now. Obviously, he has the 1-game suspension after whatever happened in that last game where
it was awful against the Lakers. Yeah, I mean,
he was disengaged and something.
That's a red flag to me.
Yeah, for sure. And especially because it happened like after the half, what was said, and then he was disengaged. Okay, go to the on the court stuff. You and I were talking a little bit about this today on the way to San Francisco, and we're just like, well, there's a lot of good about his game. But there's also things that have just kind of like stayed the same, or players around him have made better for him. He's always been playing with some pretty decent players, right? On the defensive end, on the offensive end. Right now, he's not playing with those players. And so maybe he's not seeing that same success. And then I said, well, wait. And we think in Sacramento, that's going to be the new place, the new organization that inspires him to play differently.
Yeah. Sometimes you need a change of scenery. Sometimes you need a wake-up call. Whatever it is. And he's got the talent, I think, to turn it around. But, I mean, I think there are some numbers that pop out to me right away where it's his frequency getting to the rim has declined every single year.
It's an interesting one.
He's a smaller guy. You know, what happens when the athleticism declines a little bit because the shooting hasn't gone up? And so when you start thinking about those things, those are just on the court things, right? You start bringing up the issues he's had in the past. Again, I believe people can learn from their mistakes. He was a young man.
Totally
maybe
agree.
Made some mistakes.
Totally.
But this whole situation right now in Memphis, whether or not he likes the coach or not, there's a better way to handle things professionally. And I thought what he said to the media after the game, talking about his minutes and the coaching and that's on the coaching, it just did not reflect to me a guy that can lead a team.
Especially when you've been in the league this long and
man.
you just you know what to do in those situations.
And it doesn't mean you can't be upset at the coaches.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean you can't have conversations with them. But when it comes out like that, it's a tough look. Yeah. And so my whole point is like, it's like anybody that comes available like that, people are like, oh, can the Kings go get him? I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just to the point where I'm just like, can we just nail some draft picks? We can't go 6 consecutive years when you've got lottery picks and you pick Thomas Robinson to Ben McLemore to Nick Stauskas to Willie Cauley-Stein to Yorgos Papagiannis. I'm probably missing
Justin
one.
Jackson.
I mean, even that one is like whatever. That's like the 20th pick or something that draft. But my point is, you had years and years of lottery appearances where you didn't just like miss on someone. You swung and missed, and they were not even real NBA players after they were done in Sacramento for the most part.
Yeah.
That happened so often with Sacramento. And so I'm just like, just build this thing right. And you can't take shortcuts because it's just
I mean,
I don't know.
Look, I don't think you're the only person that feels that way in Sacramento. And I think there's going to be other people that run an organization also like a business and not just a basketball team. And they go, Ja Morant sells tickets. He puts butts in the seats. And like, it sucks when that becomes part of something. And that also is going to be the way that a team wants to generate their I guess their finances or money flow, whatever. But at the same time, I wish it all just only mattered on the court. And
well, you know what else generates revenue?
I know, winning good basketball.
Yeah,
I know.
Consistent, sustainable winning.
And sometimes you have to take a little hit and things have to be hard to get back there. No, I've always been for that life. I'm always about building sustainability and like in playing basketball the right way. Like I forget who we were talking to, and we were just talking about like even role players in this league. They used to be with a team, like obviously star players used to stay with the same jersey or the same team for so many years, right? And then you'd even see that with role players, and teams would stay together for however many years because the consistency, the continuity is so important in this sport to build, to grow, to be together, to make your tweaks, but to build with your core and what you have. And sometimes that gets lost in the business of things because there's so much fucking money involved in this shit.
Any other thoughts on tonight's game? Because we just went off kind of on tangent, which is fun. Which is fine, I meant.
Yeah.
And fun, I guess.
I mean, look, there's going to be probably a lot of losses that we're talking about this year.
Yeah.
And so with a loss like this tonight, it's like I said, I'm not... I can't sit here and be like, I'm fully disappointed in everything that the Kings did. It's truly what we said about how you cannot be making mistakes the way that this team makes mistakes when you're just not a good enough team. You have to, all 4 quarters, every single possession, be locked in, whether you're on the road, whether it's a second night of a back-to-back, it doesn't matter.
I was trying to get some super chats in. Okay. Because I know we had Kenneth hit us up. He's been a member for 40 months. Good to see Kenneth in the building.
Kenneth.
Saying, missing Murray, can we bring in Chris and start the tank already? Hashtag why not? Why not? Also in the chat, shout out to Kat. Donating $5 saying, I'll say it again, this team is driving me to drink, and that's walking distance.
Yeah, don't drive.
No.
Always walk.
Yeah.
Always walk. And thank you for the donation.
All right, here's a question for the chat.
Ooh.
And for you. Who would be your butcher and barrel player of the game?
Oh, no. I'm going to go with Russell Westbrook. That's mine.
I agree with you. I went with Russ, too. Well, first of all, I don't want to just go with the obvious, which would be Jokic. I feel like in game Jokic goes, he plays, you want to give it to him. I went with Russell Westbrook tonight. 26 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists on 10 of 17 shooting, 3 of 6 from downtown. He is our butcher and barrel player of the game, and the Kings are coming back home for a 5-game homestand. What better place to go before a game than Butcher and Barrel, which is just a block away from Golden One Center.
Drink up. You can eat up. You can do it all. It's 30 seconds away from the arena, and they have a game day special $38 for a Wagyu burger, a shot, and a beer. And a whole bunch of Kings fans have been there before games. So make sure you go check it out. It's such a great place to be. Elevated dining, but also like just a great community of people. Yep. They're Kings fans. Some amazing people there.
Shout out to them. And shout out to Russell Westbrook. He's one of those guys that I feel like could fit on so many teams. And we know the chaotic moments. I feel like I always have to preface it with that. All right, he's a flawed player, whatever. But, dude, I don't know. Maybe it's just a Sacramento thing, but I just dig guys who play hard and play intense, and he does that. You know, in the first half, did he make some irritating turnovers? He and Levine trying to force it inside to Sabonis in the paint with a crowd? Yeah, but he also did some really good things. I mean, I felt like he kept the game within striking distance, played his ass off. Fans in Denver gave him a lot of love because they respected what he was able to do for them last year, a 50-win team. He played, 75 games, played 13 playoff games. I don't know. I just like him, and I feel like he's also a guy that if the Kings do turn this into a different direction where they're playing young guys, I want him around those young guys.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I think when the Kings rumors started rumbling around Russell Westbrook in the summer, I remember feeling a certain way because I remember thinking over the years how I would feel if Russell Westbrook was in Sacramento. And everyone's always like, you'll love him if he's on your team. Oh my God, you would love him. And he's the best teammate and all these different things. And then once you really see it for yourself, you're just like, shit, sometimes you should just listen to people and you should just understand, like, this is what this guy brings. He stands on business. He's all about business. He's all about basketball. He doesn't care what anyone thinks, and he's a good teammate.
I still would not have signed both Schroeder and Westbrook. I would just sign Westbrook. Then, if you're picking hey, 13 or 14 million for Schroeder for the next 2 years, 4 million of it guaranteed in the final year, or Westbrook at a cheaper deal, I'm going Westbrook. Both of them, I just think it got in the way of Monk and Keon and Nique.
You say that, but then, okay, Westbrook is injured 5 games.
You could find another backup point guard that would be cheaper. Saying. That would not be on a multi-year deal.
Okay.
That's how I look at it.
That's fine.
So that's just that would be one critique. But I like the addition of Westbrook. I think, to be honest, I feel like he's been at times more impactful than Schroeder.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Schroeder had some good moments the last couple of games for sure. But I feel like he's been more impactful in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I agree with that. But it's like I said, as soon as Keegan went down and you saw the lack of depth, especially in that specific position and what it's done to the starting lineup, what it's even done to the size, it's it's crazy. What?
Nothing.
Oh, sorry.
I was getting ready to read a super chat. This is from GDM415 donating $5. Just leaving the game, which was Nique's first NBA game in Colorado. Proud moment for us all. Surreal moments.
That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I heard he had 200, 300 family.
That's
and
insane.
Friends.
I mean, it was loud. He got a huge pop when he came in. When he had that putback jam, that crash. Let's get to our J Street Dental moment of the game. A moment that will make you smile tonight. Shout out to our friends over at J Street Dental. Enriching lives and enhancing smiles. Head to jstreetdentalgroup.com. You can also check out their sister office, Sacramento River Dental, all run by amazing, sweet humans. And, hey, I go to J Street Dental.
You can even tell that I have cavities.
Yeah, you got 6 of them. Anyway, brush your teeth and floss. Disgusting. Your breast stinks. Oh,
no,
my
it
God.
doesn't.
Oh, I
Are
smell
you
it from
serious?
here. What'd you eat? Chipotle? I smell it.
I did eat Chipotle.
Yeah,
and that would
let
be
me say that corn salsa is
your
in
breath
my
always smells. Why do
face.
you think I always have to give you gum? And I'm like, ew, you're gross.
Morgan,
Smelly.
you...
In your pores, reek sometimes.
Okay, you have mouse ears.
That's such a stupid fucking insult.
And your breath does stink because you don't... Have you... True or false? You're on the stand right now.
Yeah, I flossed today.
Do you floss before bed?
I floss every single day. Every single day.
Your Honor. She's not answering the question. Do you brush and floss every night before bed?
I floss every day. I brush twice a day.
Can you answer the question?
I did.
Do you do it before bed?
Sometimes it's before bed, and sometimes it's 6 o'clock in the evening.
dirty dog.
That's not dirty. That's so weird. That is so weird. What
Okay,
like,
let's get to the moment.
Yeah, let's get to our J Street dental moment of the game.
Yeah.
As we talk about teeth for 5 minutes.
What would be your moment, chat? I've got mine. Morgan, do you have one?
Yeah, it was the dunk. The Nique
Dude,
Clifford
that
dunk.
was the one.
It was, as soon as it went, I literally turned to Deuce and I was like, that's the moment of the game. Let's go. It was just, it's cool to see. It's fun to see a young guy get in there and just have a big moment.
Levine missed the three, and Clifford crashed from the perimeter, jammed it home, got oohs and ahs from the fans in Denver. And like Morgan mentioned, what a cool moment for him. You know, born in Colorado Springs, started his college career at Colorado, then finished at Colorado State, and plays in Denver and has friends and family. Like Draper was saying in pregame to us, like 200, 300?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That's a
It's a lot of people wearing Nique Clifford jerseys.
I mean, we talked to his college coach over the summer after he was drafted, and just the way that he talked about him as a human, you can tell so many people connect with that. And it's great to have good people on this roster as well. Yeah.
He makes me excited. Like, I want to see more of him down the stretch. I think we're going to have some moments from him where you're excited about his upside in the future.
I like it.
Next up for the Kings, woo-wee. 5-game homestand. They're coming home.
Love that.
Let's give it up for them coming home.
Yay!
Yay. After this 4-game road trip, they are sitting at 2-5. The homestand starts Wednesday with the Golden State Warriors. After that, an NBA Cup game. Ooh, NBA Cup game. The first NBA Cup game, Kings Thunder. Then after that, Minnesota comes to town.
I need to write it down.
Kings, Minnesota. And then a rematch with Denver. And then on a second, I have a back-to-back. Atlanta comes to town.
Okay. How many wins do we see there before we get to Golden State? At home.
Okay. I mean, I think first you go Atlanta's the best chance because no Trae Young.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't mean that's an easy game still, right? They've got length and size that you go, okay, well, they're still problematic.
Yep.
But I would say Atlanta's the best bet.
Do you think they can win against Denver at home?
Sure.
I mean, you know, it's a 6-point loss tonight.
Look, that's the thing with this group at 2-5. Like, they've been in the Chicago game was gross in the second half, but the rest of the games they've been in. And so I do think that this group, with that starting lineup that they have right now with the vets, like, they're going to be competitive enough to be in games. I also look at them and go, I don't sense like effort issues at this point. And look, this can change fast, especially if the losses mount. You know, guys get unhappy. Maybe they're thinking about, oh man, am I getting traded? Rumors start happening.
Yeah.
Like, things can definitely change. But at this point in time, have we questioned like pure effort outside of that third quarter against the Bulls where the defense went?
No. And I think where I question, because there's been moments where I see lapses, like Dennis Schroeder stand up or Zach LaVine knock it back on something. You know, there's moments, but I definitely don't overall question effort for an entire game.
Right. And so even the first game against Golden State's lost 2 in a row. They lost on the road to Milwaukee. That was the game Ryan Rollins went off. Giannis did not play.
Oh, my God.
And then they lost the very next game to Indiana, a Pacers team that's extremely
and
banged
they were
up.
Up big in that game, right?
No, I wasn't big, but the double digits.
Huge. They were huge.
But nonetheless, I mean, Quentin Jackson, a two-way player, went off for Indiana in that game. And so they play Phoenix coming up. They'll be on the second night of a back-to-back. I mean, is it winnable? Sure. I mean, is Golden State better? Yes. Is it winnable? Yes. OKC, that's a tough one. I mean,
it's just tough.
They're
never know.
To me, the best team in the NBA, and they're still banged up right now. Minnesota, they don't have Anthony Edwards right now.
Yeah.
And so you look at that as an opportunity, but someone like Julius Randle, I mean, that's a guy that can score 30, right? They've got Gobert. They've got McDaniels. They've got all length and size. I'd say that game, like, could you win that game? Sure.
Yeah.
Denver, I mean, you were in it, but like they're a really tough team, and then you end with Atlanta. So, best case scenario, best case,
2.
I give them 3.
Okay.
Best case, my prediction,
2.
1.
I'm gonna go 2.
Okay. 1.
I'm optimistic.
Yeah, and hopefully they prove us wrong a little bit because it's
God,
fun when they
yes.
play at home and it's like entertaining and fun. I'm all about it.
Like I don't care how they have to win at home, like scratch, crawl, game winner, whatever you got to do.
Okay, just so you know, did you just say scratch, crawl?
Yeah, I did.
The saying is scratch, claw.
Claw.
Now, you're like,
yeah. Why did I say crawl?
You kind of sound like you want them to be babies, like scratch and claw.
No,
crawl.
no, like I wanted them to crawl to like even if they got punched down to the ground, they're
I
like
see.
Okay. They're
Okay.
like
Nice
crawling
save.
to the
Yeah,
finish
yeah,
line,
yeah.
like nothing's gonna.
But
keep
you don't
me
want
down.
them to claw.
No, because I want them to scratch.
So scratch and crawl.
Yeah.
That's an interesting method that I don't think a lot of people
I
think about when you talk about
definitely
NBA.
Claw.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
said crawl, and now I want them to crawl.
So stupid.
Like on one leg, they're limping to the finish line. Like do whatever you have to do to get the dubs on the home floor.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts for this game specifically. I'm so excited to be back at home.
Yeah.
Just so much more fun.
Yep.
Obviously, being at the Deuce and Mo podcast studios is way more fun. Not having to drive is way more fun. Being in the city that I love the most, Sacramento, is way more fun.
Well, we appreciate you guys so much for being here, win or lose. Make sure to spread the word. We're going to continue to do content, whether it's after games. We'll do more breakdowns. People like the film breakdowns.
Dude, I loved your last breakdown,
Thank
by
you.
the way.
It
That was
fun.
great.
I like watching the game.
I was
And
jealous.
of course, we'll hit more NBA topics as they come up. If you guys have comments after the show, hit the comment box. It helps us grow. We love you guys so much, but we gots to go.
Thanks so much for being here. See ya.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.